Call to order City of Forest Park Council meeting number 1300, October 2nd, 2017. Let's stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Burns.
Here.
Collins.
Here.
Cottle.
Here.
Herbie.
Here.
Holt.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
All members are present and accounted for. Next item number 2 is minutes. You should have all received a copy of the minutes in your packets. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. Next item on the agenda is item number 3, presentations. Don't have any listed presentations for this evening. We go to item number 4, communications from the public. This is a time for citizens to comment on matters before council or to ask questions of concern to them. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and then state your comments or questions. Council meetings are tape recorded for ease of transcriptions. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. Is there anyone from the public who would like to address the council? Mr. Lawler, if you please come up and tell us who you are and sign in, please.
I'm Jim Lawler, former longtime resident. My address is 351 Ashley Lane, and I'm here to give you a history minute, compliments of the Forest Park Historical Society. And I want to give you just a little thumbnail of how Forest Park came to become a city, some background. We'll start in 1956. Forest Park had its dedication, and the newspaper said that Miss America was there, Steve Allen was there, an Ohio Supreme Court Justice, and 30,000 people attended. And I'm sure there were open houses and model homes, and the epicenter of this foundation, or of the dedication, was Founders Park at Sharon and Waycross. Now, to back up, I'll tell you, in 1955, a year previous, the first house was sold and occupied on Cascade Drive. Word is that there is a plaque in the garage signifying that this was a significant house. At the 50th anniversary, actually, I went to the house, knocked on the door, a nice lady answered, and was very helpful, but she couldn't get in the garage. The garage door was broken, and I think the one from the house had stuff in front of it. So I did not see and could not get a picture of that plaque, which I would like to have done. I would point out, a little background, that in 1955, Green Hills, now remember, had been around for around 20 years. So then we'll move up to 1959, and the word came out that Union Central, remember Union Central, was buying land out in Springfield Township. Now, Union Central was at 4th and Vine at that time, in the Union Central Tower. It's now the PNC Tower. So, word of this got around, and some of the background I have for this is, of course, when the Historical Society was founded, it was founded by a lot of the founders, most of whom are not here. And also, I had many a lunch, Forest Park restaurant on the stool next to Frank Von Hagen. And Frank, as far as I know, might have been the first law director, but right early law director, very much involved with establishing the city. And this was a time in 1960 when GE was going great guns, and all those, of course, they're all trees, but in front of GE, there were cars everywhere. It was just full, sometimes 2 and 3 shifts. So a lot of people working at GE, and a whole lot of them lived in Forest Park. These young engineers would come from around the country and around the world, and Forest Park was a good place to live. So the word at GE was that Green Hills was going to annex this land. They were going to have to gerrymander up Sharon Road and all that, and they were going to gerrymander so the Union Central would be in Green Hills. This made it a good opportunity, necessity for Forest Park to get around to incorporating. So in 1961, Forest Park incorporated as a village and included the land of what was then Union Central. Now, I'm sure all of you know, because I'm sure you've all been to your state training classes, that a village up to 5,000 people in Ohio, you're a village, and once you have over 5,000 people, then you're qualified to become a city. And typically, the state would look at the census figure every 10 years and determine who's a city, who's a village. I mean, I remember the time when Green Hills and Lincoln Heights were cities, and they lost population and became villages. Forest Park, another thing that makes Forest Park very unique, if you look on the plaque still hanging out there, that Forest Park was declared a city by the Ohio Secretary of State in 1969. Would have been the year before the census. So the reason Forest Park was able to become a city because they had over 5,000 registered voters. It had grown so much that just by the weight of the registered voters, it could become a city. They didn't have to wait for a census. So as of 1969, Forest Park became a city and has lived happily ever after. Thank you for much.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate that. Anyone else? Would you come up, please, sign in, tell us who you are?
My name is Marlene Brown, and I live on 653 Cranford Drive. And I have a handout so you guys can understand maybe what I would like to talk about. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Would you repeat your name, please, because we couldn't hear you?
We'll have to sign in. Okay. It's the first time here, so I'm going to try to hopefully not mess things up. But on the map, you can see my concern is Marlene Brown. And my concern is a traffic hazard on Cascade and Carlsbad. And not just a couple of weeks ago, but 2 or 3 times now, if you notice the van in the corner there, that person knows your rules. So the van is, it stays in that small area, but most of the times he has 2 or 3 other cars parked in front or behind. And early this year, he had a flat tire for 3 months. And I got a policeman and told him, so the guy fixed it. The last 3 months, he's had a flat tire again on the driver's side and the back. So the van is not going anyplace far. He's staying pretty close. When somebody comes up the Cascade and there's 3 cars, where the van is, he's moved it up a little bit farther. And then the other cars are closer to Waycross and you can't really see. So a couple of times I came up Cascade or the other way from Waycross, and cars are coming up. One time some young kids came up and they sort of didn't stop, and they didn't see me because there were 3 cars parked there, and we just about came that close to getting hit. So this is not the first time this happened, and I'm really concerned that this guy's been parked there over a year now. And just when he had a flat tire, I said something, and it's getting to be, he is a hazard. And he has decorations on his van all over the place. So I don't think he drives it any place because I never see it gone. And my husband and I walk up that way a lot. We go to the library or, to the store to buy paper. So that's my biggest concern, and I was kind of hoping that maybe, you guys could find a solution to get that fixed or do something about it. I have no idea what can be done, but I would really like him to know that, he shouldn't do that.
Okay,
I just had some questions for clarification. When you talk about a van,
Yeah.
are you talking about like a sport utility vehicle?
No,
Are
it's
you-
a big,
It's a
it's
big,
a Bengals van.
it's a big
It's a
van
big van, and you can't see,
with a cab in the front, or is it
no, it's-
something to tow?
no, it's, I would say the van is from here to about here that long, and it's pretty high up. Yeah, you could stand up in it. So yeah,
That helps.
My question is it a commercial van? Like, is the person conducting business with the van? Or is it connected with a certain address? Do you know whose van it is or license
I
plate
have a
number?
feeling, and because a lot of times behind him on a weekend or certain days, there are cars for sale that are sort of connected with that. So I assume, and I have no proof and I don't know, but just so many cars that, have for sale signs on that I think he's a dealer somehow. He has cars there and then, they're gone, and now lately he's had a big truck that's two-colored, and it's been there maybe 2 weeks in a row, and then it's gone, and some other, so there's constantly changing of cars.
I don't want you to say it out loud, but do you have the license plate number for this van?
excuse me.
I did it
Excuse
one
me.
time, but I didn't. He's got one of those license plate things you have to go close.
Okay, that information, I don't want you to give that publicly. If you have it or if you can get it, then I'll give you a number to contact and you can give it to that person,
Okay,
okay? We will, obviously, Mr. Hodges will pass this information on to our police department. I will tell you that, two things. One, if there is a flat tire in the van, or not a flat tire, if it's immobile for more than 72 hours, it will be marked, and they follow up on that. Now, I think a lot of times what people, we don't necessarily call people and say, we marked this particular car, we marked that one. The action is just taken. Secondly, looking at your diagram here, based on the way you have this outlined, there's a possibility that the van is too close to the curb at the intersection. If that's the case, then again, that would be cited. And looking at the other cars that you have along there, I take it that these splits are where driveways are?
yeah, they're okay there. You can, they're not,
Right.
it's the stupid,
Yeah,
it's that big van.
Right. As I said, Mr. Hodges will pass this information on, and we will, it will be investigated and looked at. Unfortunately, if it's what I think it is, I think I've seen it, if it's a personal vehicle, if it's legally parked, then there's not gonna be a whole lot that we can do about it if it's parked legally. And if it's not on a flat, there's no flat tires, and if it's not, there's a lot of ifs, and if it's not too close to the curb at the intersection. But at any rate, rest assured that we will look into the matter,
Okay.
okay?
It's like, when you see the cascade coming up and where the stop sign is, sometimes he's parked about that close to the, where the street goes up, and it's hard, you can't see around.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get by him even, and our streets are, narrow enough, so when there's two cars, one coming this way, one coming this way, and this one is parked, you can't do that.
Well, on some occasions, and again, every situation is different, but on some occasions, what will happen would be if it's creating a danger, then the Public Works Department would paint a yellow stripe, so that part of that would be an area where it couldn't park. But that's done on an individual basis depending on the circumstance,
Okay,
okay?
thank you for listening.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else out there? Mr. Smith, you have anything for us this evening? Not yet. Next month. Okay, we will now move to the next item, item number 5, reports of standing committees. The first of those being Public Safety Committee, Councilwoman Cottle.
I have no report tonight, thank you.
Any questions for Councilwoman Cottle? Hearing none. For the scheduled work session on the 10th, and oh, by the way, let me just say here, normally this meeting would be on the 9th. The 9th is Columbus Day. We are closed on Monday the 9th. So traditionally, we have met the following day, Tuesday, which would be the 10th. So make sure you make note of that. If you come over here on Monday, won't nobody be here but you. But do come on Tuesday. Councilwoman Cottle, I don't have any items on the agenda for you for that work session. Do you have any to add?
No, thank you.
Next item, standing committee is Ways and Means Committee, Councilwoman Herbie.
Yes, I just want to mention that the Economic Development Commission met on Wednesday and did recommend the incentive agreements that are on the council's agenda tonight.
Okay. Any questions for Councilwoman Herbie? Hearing none, Councilwoman Herbie, I have an item for you, new investment manager. Do you have any to add?
No.
Next committee report is Community Development Committee, Mr. Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report.
Any question for Mr. Burns? Hearing none, Mr. Burns, I have one item on the agenda for you for the meeting on the 10th. It's peddlers, solicitors, and canvassers draft ordinance. So, do you have any to add?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Thank you. Next committee report is Law Committee, Councilwoman Collins.
I have no report at this time.
Any questions for Councilwoman Collins? Councilwoman Collins, there is one item on the agenda on the Law Committee, Safe Route for School Presentation. Do you have any other items to add?
No.
Thank you. Next committee report is Human Resources Committee, Councilwoman Holt.
First, I would like to say that my prayers and thoughts go out to the families that are affected with the Las Vegas tragedy. And also, on a happier note, the Employee and Volunteer Recognition Dinner is this coming Thursday, October 5th, with the social gathering starting at 5:30. I look forward to seeing all of the volunteers in attendance. That will conclude my report.
Okay, any questions for Councilwoman Holt? Hearing none. Councilwoman Holt, I have no items on the agenda for you. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Next committee report is Public Improvement and Facilities Committee, Councilwoman Moore.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson. Just to note that the Stormwater Utilities have 12 catch basins scheduled for repair throughout the city, and the work will start late October and should be completed by November 10th, 2017. That completes my report.
Any questions for Councilwoman Moore? Hearing none, Councilwoman Moore, I have no items on the agenda for you for the work session of the 10th. Do you have any to add?
No.
Thank you. Next report is Intergovernmental Relations and Communication. That's my committee. I have no report. I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are any. And there are no agenda items for Intergovernmental Relations and Communications. We'll move to item number 6, the mayor's report. Just want to, for the benefit of our audience, reiterate a couple of things. One, that the Wynwood's Homecoming Parade will be held in conjunction with its homecoming, prior to the homecoming game on Friday, October 13. The kickoff for the game is at 7 p.m. The parade will begin at 5:05 from the intermediate school on Wynn all the way up to Central Site. Hope everybody will come out and support the school district specifically the band, the cheerleaders, and the football team, which at this point is undefeated for the season, and hopefully will continue in that vein this Friday and next. Secondly, received a note of thank you from, excuse me, the Forest Park seniors. They wanted to thank everybody who participated in the collection of items for the hurricane victims. Those items were brought to, they were collected jointly by the police department and with the seniors and the fire department up at Walmart. They are very grateful to everybody who gave. I am sure that for anybody who did not get the opportunity to, there are charitable organizations in the area that are still collecting. So if you want to make contact with one of those, if you still have some things to give, you might do that. In addition, I would just say to our community, and I know we are givers, let's not forget that giving can be a year-round proposition. You don't have to wait for a disaster. There are many, many organizations that accept all kinds of gifts so that they have a stockpile of material when a disaster does strike. So again, thank you from the Forest Park seniors. That's the board of directors, I believe, Mr. Smith. And that would conclude my report. I'll answer any questions if there are any. Seeing none, Mr. Hodges, City Manager's report.
Thank you. Just a few items to report. First, that the departmental reports have all been completed, included in the council packet, and also placed on file with the clerk of council for public inspection. I would also report that we have basically completed the next issue for the Progress Community Newsletter, so residents will have that information available to them at our website, and also there'll be copies here available at the municipal building. Also report that I completed an executive summary for council members, and that is also available for the general public. Finally, I will report that I'll be out of town later this week. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss an excellent meal and opportunity to intermingle with the many volunteers that have contributed so much for the city's success, but I do want to express my appreciation for all the work that they do, and hope everyone has a very good time. But that would complete and conclude my report. I would respond to any questions if there are any.
Any questions for the city manager? Hearing none, thank you, sir. Next item is item number 8, other reports. First of those being Law Director, Mr. John Wyckoff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report tonight, but would answer any questions.
Any questions for the Law Director? Hearing none. Thank you, sir. Next report is item B, Clerk of Council, Mrs. Dirksen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to report that ordinance numbers 20-2017 through 22-2017 and resolution numbers 20-2017 through 25-2017 were posted as required, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Clerk of Council? Thank you, Mr. Dirksen. Next item on the agenda is item number 9, new business. A under number 9 is ordinance number 23-2017. This ordinance must be read in full. It was not posted. So if the clerk would please read ordinance number 23-2017.
Ordinance number 23-2017, authorizing the payment of public monies into the State Treasury Asset Reserve of Ohio. Whereas ordinance number 16-1986 is hereby repealed and replaced with this ordinance, and whereas Ohio Revised Code Section 135.45 authorizes to pay public monies into the State Treasury Asset Reserve of Ohio, and whereas the council has determined that such an investment would be in the best interest of the city, Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Forest Park that Section 1, that the finance director is hereby authorized and directed to pay public monies to the city and to the state or the State Treasury Asset Reserve of Ohio in an amount that is in compliance with the city's investment policy. The city manager and finance director are hereby authorized and directed to take whatever steps and execute whatever documents may be necessary for this purpose. Section 2, that the finance director shall report to council quarterly on the status of the public monies that are invested in the State Treasury Asset Reserve of Ohio. Section 3, this ordinance shall be in force and will take effect from and after the earliest date allowed by law.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move the adoption of ordinance number 23-2000.
That'll be the first reading.
That's,
Oh,
that's
thank
the
you.
first reading, you're right.
Sorry.
This item will be on the agenda at the next meeting for a vote.
Thank you.
Next, is there a motion, Mr. Barnes?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read by title only resolution numbers 26-17, 27-2017, and 29-2017. These resolutions were posted 6 days prior to this meeting.
Second.
Been moved and second that we suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read by title only resolutions number 26-2017, 27-2017, and 29-2017 by title only. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on the motion to suspend the rules?
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes,
Moore.
Yes.
the motion to suspend the rules passes 7-0. The next item on the agenda would be item B, resolution 26-2017. Would the clerk please read that resolution by title only?
Resolution number 26-2017, a resolution consenting to the execution of a redevelopment incentive agreement between Hutchinson Home Care Pharmacy, Inc. and the City of Forest Park, Ohio.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of resolution number 26-2017.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 26-2017. Is there discussion? Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, this is one of two resolutions tonight that are brought to us by our Economic Development Department. The two incentives are to assist in filling up a vacant property that was once occupied by Masters Pharmaceuticals. And both incentives are structured in the same way. This one is for Hutchinson Home Care Pharmacy, which provides pharmaceutical products to long-term facilities, and it has 20 full-time employees and 4 part-time employees. The deal would comprise a $10,000 initial incentive in year 1, a $5,000 incentive in year 2, and 3-year rebates of half the withholding starting in 2019, which is actually generated in 2018, and then 2020, 2021 for stuff generated in the previous year. And I would urge adoption of this resolution.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on resolution 26-2017?
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Resolution 26-2017 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item C, resolution 27-2017. The clerk please read this resolution by title only.
Resolution number 27-2017, a resolution consenting to the execution of a redevelopment incentive agreement between MHC Medical Products, LLC, and the City of Forest Park, Ohio.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of resolution number 27-2017.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 27-2017. Is there discussion?
Mr.
Yes.
Yes. This is the second of the incentives, and this is for MHC medical products that distribute diabetic syringes, test strips, and meters to, again, often long-time facilities. He has 20 full-time employees and is intending to add another 20 full-time employees. It's the same structure as the previous, and I would urge adoption of this resolution.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on Resolution 27-2017?
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Resolution 27-2017 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is item D, resolution number 28-2017. Would the clerk please read this resolution in full?
Resolution number 28-2017, a resolution to amend resolution number 42-2016 to modify and update the investment policy for the city of Forest Park. Whereas resolution number 46-1996 established an investment policy for the city of Forest Park to comply with Senate Bill 81 that was signed into law by the then governor of the state of Ohio, George Barnovich, in June 1996. And whereas said bill required the city of Forest Park to have in place an investment policy that requires local governments to file investment policies with the auditor of state and requires that the policies be signed by persons executing any transaction on behalf of the local government or offering investment advice to the local government. And whereas the policy was modified by resolution number 15-2009 and 42-2016, and whereas it is in the best interest of the city of Forest Park to comply with Senate Bill 81 by adopting an improved investment policy as contained in Exhibit A, which is attached to this resolution. Now therefore be resolved by the Council of the City of Forest Park, Ohio. Section 1. City Council, having reviewed the new investment policy, accepts the recommendation of the city manager and the Director of Finance, and repeals resolutions numbers 15-2009 and 42-2016, and adopts the new investment policy attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference as attachment A. Section 2. This resolution shall be in full force and take effect upon its passage.
First reading. Is this a
I'm sorry. It's a resolution. It can be passed.
Okay, is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of resolution number 28-2017.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 28-2017. Is there a discussion?
Yes, please. The staff's proposing for us to modify our investment policy to allow for a broader mix and longer time period while still staying within the state requirements for investments. And that is what this change in this policy would allow us to do. And the policy is in your packet, so I would urge adoption of this resolution.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on 28-2017?
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Resolution 28-2017 passes 7-0. Next item is item E, resolution number 29-2017. Would the clerk please read this resolution by title only?
Resolution number 29-2017, a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of resolution number 29-2017.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 29-2017. Is there a discussion? Councilwoman Herbie?
This is a routine part of our budget process. We sent a formal tax budget to the auditor, and this is just accepting the tax rates that the auditor has supplied us with. So I would urge adoption of this resolution.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on resolution 29-2017?
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie.
Yes.
Resolution 29-2017 passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda, item F. Is there a motion? Councilwoman Holt.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to accept the resignation of Mr. Tyrone Rose from the Environmental Awareness Board of Directors for a term expiring 11/30/18.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the resignation of Mr. Tyrone Rose from the Environmental Wellness Board of Directors for the term expiring 11/30/18. Is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Is there any further business to come before the body? Any further business to come before the body? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Down to 13.